It's a pleasure having you tuned in Church of Uganda Family TV at this particular hour. And this is HealthPort. HealthPort is a health program brought to you by Makerere University School of Public Health. And this program is centered around maternal and child health, early childhood development, and other public health concerns. This program is only on Church of Uganda Family TV. Edrine, Osteen, Mukalazi is my name. We are still continuing with our team from Access. Now, Access is African Community Center for Social Sustainability, abbreviated as Access. Therefore, when we talk about Access, it is Access. And Access represents African Community Center for Social Sustainability. And today we are now going to dwell much on early childhood development. Of course, there are certain things that parents ignore or underlook, yet they are very, very vital in a child's development. So today we are looking at why you need to take your child to a preschool as a parent. Of course, we know generations have gone when they used to determine where your qualification to be in a class was determined by your age or maybe your ability to do certain things. But as we go on, as technology advances, we realize that preschool is really very, very important and vital. It's not a luxury. It is supposed to be part of a child's growth process. Now, with us is Mr. Kiyemba Ronald, who is the operations manager in Access, but he's going to take us through this whole thing of preschool. Mr. Kiyemba, you're most welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. Kindly greet our viewers and then we shall continue.
To all our viewers, good morning. Thank you so much for watching Family TV. Yes, please.
Yeah, so how is Access doing?
Access,
in Nakaseke?
Access, we are doing good. We are situated in Nakaseke, that's Nakaseke district. We are located in the first town of Nakaseke, just a few meters from the first town.
Okay. So we want to look at, or we want to dwell much on preschool education, which is part of early childhood development. But someone would really ask themselves what preschool is. So how can you, in a simple term, break down preschool for someone to understand?
All right. Preschool, it is just taking your child aging from 2 years to 5 years to begin schooling or to begin practicing behaviors of school practice, but in a way which is guiding him or her for the betterment of his or her life.
Okay. We have I think now something that's come up. When you talk about preschool, how is preschool different from daycare, or it is a change of word, a change of language?
Preschool might be a bit different from daycare, whereby the daycare might begin from months, I would say, but preschool you can at least look at it at the age of like 2 years, where someone can be in a position to write, to play, to move from one place to another, but only areas restricted with the guidance of the caretaker.
Okay.
But I think the daycare can range from months, just months, 2 months, 3 months, it depends.
Okay.
That's I feel like that shows the difference between the two.
Okay. So how then is preschool, is it also education?
It is education.
Preschool education. So how is, in the first place, why is it called preschool yet Alana comes to school?
The reason being, just like you mentioned initially, that initially we were taking our children after maybe like 4 years, 5 years. So, but now this time we are looking at a child at the age of 2 years, let's say, we feel like at that very age, a child can be in a position to learn some of crucial items, and even be guided much more better. And we feel like once our attention is so much focused on this child at that age, by the time is like 5 years and above, someone might be very, very good at grasping, at the punctuality, all that. That's why we feel like we should go away from the other thinking that someone should go to school when he's 4 years, 5 years and above.
Okay, so how then is it important that a parent should sacrifice and take their child to preschool?
Actually, yes, thank you so much. It is very important. Actually, we've learned it from our experience. We've been in this program for quite a long period of time, over 2 years, and you've been observing these kids when they are developing their brains and their behaviors. Number one, I would mention about they learn a lot. One of them is writing. Someone learns how to hold a pencil, how to shade, how best he can shade. Then number two, children learn how to live with their colleagues or with their friends. Those are the behavior acts that you should know that this one is my brother, my sister. You don't pinch him or her. You don't fight, kind of.
Because I look at a situation where a parent is still insisting. But I think I can. Okay, the child can learn the social interactions from home, especially if I'm in a community where there are very many other people. And then for the issue of learning how to shade and that, some parent can insist. But I can do that because I've had very many parents who say, I don't need to pay lots of money to the preschools. Why? Whatever they teach, I can teach my child. I can teach them how to pronounce A up to Z and all that, 1 up to 10. Is it the case? Is it are those the only things that really a child gets in a preschool? Because a parent, we are giving a parent a reason to take their child to a preschool and not to think that they can do what the caretakers or the specialists there do.
Well, actually you are right, but the world is now dynamic. Everything is changing right now. Secondly, we parents, we've become very busy. That you find a parent actually might not be in a position to spare like 2 hours or 1 hour to deal with the child, to associate with the child, to teach him or her what to do, kind of. So you find that a parent actually moves out at exactly 7 in the morning, then he comes back at almost like 9 when even the kid is sleeping. So you find it very hard for the parent to spare time to teach this child what he should expect out of him or her. So such circumstances have led to establishment of what? Preschool. Reason being that once you for instance, at our school, once you bring your child and you entrust us with him or her, we have caretakers. He will look after this child right from 8 up to 12. None. So just imagine all that period. But throughout this time, a child is practicing different activities. They say there's time where he's playing, there's a time where he's writing, there's a time where he's singing, there's a time where he's associating with other young ones. So all of that, it helps the child to develop the brain.
I look, you talked about playing, and you've reminded me of someone always. But they took their child to some preschool, and they say they still insist that they pay their money for their child to play. Now, how important is this playing when a child interactively plays with others? How important is it in their growth? Because I think literally you'll be answering that person who still grumbles that they pay their money and then their children end up playing the whole day.
Thank you so much. You know, playing actually plays a very big role in developing a child's brain. Through playing, for instance, just have time and you look at young ones when they are playing. Just playing with each other, you can tell, oh, this one is very rough, this one is very friendly, this one is, maybe I would say, hard talker, kind of. So you find that you can find a child who is just beating his or her friend, just fighting all the time. So when you observe such acts, now here is actually your duty as a caretaker. You should learn you should guide this young one. This is your brother, this is your sister. Let you behave like this. Don't beat her. Once you do like this, he feels pain. Then someone will get to know. Once I suddenly beat my colleague like this, oh, he's not happy. Feels some kind of pain. So in that way, you are shaping this kid's what? This kid's brain. And you could know, oh, this is my what? This is my brother. Thank you.
At that point, we are taking a short commercial break. But when we return, we are going to come back and still talk about why you, as a parent, need a preschool for your child, especially when it comes to early childhood development. Here on Church of Uganda Family TV, this is HealthPod, brought to you by Makerere Universal School of Public Health. And HealthPod is centered around maternal child health, early childhood development, and other public health concerns. And we are privileged to have an opportunity to share about one of those sensitive and very important aspects that we as parents have not really given attention to. You realize that some of us just take our children for the sake of taking them to school simply because you're too busy, you're working, and you don't want to leave your child in the hands of a maid. So let me take them to school, but you don't even know why you're taking them to school. You don't even know what they benefit out of school. You don't even know how to test, or you don't even know what to ask the caretaker out of your child who is in a preschool. That is why we have Mr. Kiyemba Ronald, the operations officer, operations manager, Access. Access is African Community Center for Social Sustainability based in Nakaseke, telling us how and why important a preschool or preschool education is. Mr. Kiyemba,
yes, please.
Before the break, you are taking us through why a parent needs a preschool, why they need their children to be in a preschool. Now, the other big thing now is, if I get my child, take them to a preschool, as a parent, how do I assess them then, so that I can know that there is growth and development taking place?
All right. Thank you so much. Actual assessment is very easy. What you can do, you can actually, in a simple way, you can even assess, you can look at what we call education, the education aspect of it. Then you can also look at health. Then you also look at the social aspect. Then with education, what do I mean here? You brought this child, you gave this child to us, but by that time even never knew how to touch what, or a pen or a pencil. I should call it pencil or a colored pencil. But after some good time, you can actually even witness. You find your kid already. You could even recognize that, oh, this is a pencil. Even the way he's holding the pencil.
So do you want to mean that the easiest way is when we see them writing on the walls everywhere, so they are learning?
Not really, but the way, the handling of the pen, because it begins with handling. Before anyone can learn how to write, you have to first learn how to handle. So all of that is all our preschool work. Then two, you could you could find that by the time that child was brought to the preschool, never know even to say letter A, B, all those vowels I should call them, or how to speak out alphabetic say. But he can, by that time you actually, like some good time, you find that a child can say letter A up to Z. So that is all what? That is all education. Then secondly, you find that a child, even the way he's behaving, he can learn how to grade, how to associate with their colleagues, how to speak confidently, because it is this time when we are grooming our kid from to come out as good speakers. Then another issue about that is you can again witness it with realizing how someone, for instance, when he's coughing, someone has to do like this. When actually feels like he wants to sneeze, would actually ask for the hanky. But all that when he has not come to school or to our preschool or to any other preschool, it might take long for someone to grasp all that. Thank you.
Wow. So I'm realizing that there is a lot besides what we think is what these little ones learn in a preschool, especially how they interact, how they respond to certain things, like you say that when they are coughing, then when they are sneezing, at that very point. What else is taught in a preschool besides the ones you've talked about?
All right, actually, we also teach them how to sing. They can sing. Then still we teach them how to play, because at the preschool we have what we call the playground, but this playground has very many activities, or what should I call them, instruments they use when they are playing. So in that way you can know someone, oh, this one is interested in this one, he feels happy when she's swimming around, or he feels happy when he's playing with water, or feels much more happy when he's playing with the football. So all that.
Do you give this information back to the parents, or it is for your own use as the instructors?
Actually, for us, just like I told you that our access a childhood development program, that's the preschool. We actually began this program. Initially, actually, we could bring these kids on the weekend basis, I would say, just like once in a week. Then we realized that, this program is much more good, and to actually do good for the people of Nakaseke. So what we did is to ask a parent to come with the kid at school. So in that course, when we are trying to shape or to teach the child to become, just like I've been explaining to you, the parent is also, or the caretaker, right from home, is observing. So we found that parents actually realize that this is much more good or very important to let your kid begin school at that very age, as early as that. Secondly, it is very good to watch your kid when he is at least getting something which is new, which is not as usual, just like the way we've been associating with your kid. Thank you.
Okay. Now, still about preschool, I realize, because at the end of the day, there are specific aspects that you're looking out into this child, especially one of them could be maybe their temperament or what, and how they respond to certain things. So I look at a child who you have been with or who has been in a preschool for about 2 years.
Yes.
And you've not noticed anything out of this child. Do you give remedios? Do you let this child repeat a class, or you have other mechanisms of still searching around this child?
Thank you. Actually, there is not so much different with this program. Or someone, let's say in baby class, I would say, we let them actually pass through just like the normal class attendance. In that we are observing, and we have what we call a syllabus, and it is government-based syllabus, what they pass throughout a term. Then thereafter we they are tested. They are given exams again in the following the government the government policy or the government procedure. So at the end, the caretaker can mark and realize that this one has performed it this way, and we can determine that this one should be promoted to the other class or shouldn't be promoted, but they are examined.
Okay. Wow. Now, as we draw closer to the end of this discussion, I want you to encourage parents out there to take their children to preschools and the benefits their children will get over those who do not go to preschools.
All right, our dear parent, actually, I want actually to again beg you to continue take our young kids to the preschool. Reason being, these kids learn a lot. They develop mentally very fast. Actually, a kid who has passed through preschool grasps very fast, can have confidence in speaking, even doing our social activities, more so at home, even can be in a position, to how can I explain it, can be in a position to even expose his feeling. Could not so much keep quiet. Once actually feels like should speak, this one could just directly speaks it out. Can have that kind of association at home, even with you as a parent. Actually, I feel like you even feel like, oh, my child have some advancement in IQ. Thank you.
I have a friend who had their child in some preschool, and then one time she backed at this little girl, and then the little girl said, "But mommy, they don't shout at people. They talk to them politely."
So that such kind of brains, you see. So that is all what we expect from preschool.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Kiyemba. It's been a pleasure sharing with you, especially about preschool education, because very many people do not understand preschool. When we see signposts, preschool, we really do not understand what preschool is entailed. But at least I want to thank you so much, because you have opened our minds to why we should take our children to preschools, and I believe Shama has also had. Edrine Osteen Mukalazi is my name. God bless you. Meet again next time.